Hey guys, it's Siobhan with ToKittyandBeyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the November monthly readings. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising sign. All of the links for the timestamps will be in the description box and or in the comments pinned below. So you can go ahead and jump to your sun, your moon, your rising, check them all out. Make sure to watch them at the beginning of the month and then again at the end of the month to see how things actually played out for you. And don't forget to check out this month's group energy work session. We're going to be doing some group support for the eclipse portal. So for the eclipse that happened on the 25th of October, as well as the eclipse coming up on the 8th. So this month's group energy work session is on November 9th at 2 p.m. PST. It's $44 Canadian, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there and seeing what comes up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next month. Enjoy your reading. All right, hi Aries, welcome to your November monthly reading. This one's going to be a little different. We're using a sort of more interpretive freestyle spread and a couple of different decks of cards. So far for this month, what we have is the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Six of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the World card, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. So you have a pretty stacked month here, Aries. It seems like there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you to break free from some karmic cycles, especially patterns or behaviors within relationships that have really been challenging you over the past, it almost feels like decade. So 10 years worth of relationship patterns that don't serve you, behaviors that are coming from a very unconscious place within you. Struggles, repressed aspects of the self manifesting through the types of people you connect to, the types of relationships that you have, the ways that you are triggered. There's an opportunity this month and going up into the future about 6 months down the line through eclipse season and that eclipse cycle is really about you guys coming back into power of yourself and understanding the two dualistic aspects of the self. So the conscious and unconscious, the dark and the light, the good and the bad, and really integrating all of those aspects into the self, understanding your desires, your deepest needs, and how you would like to express those in conjunction with other people. So I see a lot of empowerment coming for you this month and embracing the darker aspects within you in a way that's favorable, that's integrated, and that's empowering. So you're not feeding that shadow self, you're rather exposing it to the light and understanding it for those core principles, those core archetypes, and those core unmet needs. In doing so, you're able to empower yourself through self-love and compassion. I see you guys really opening your heart and understanding yourself in a new way, and being able to do that allows you to close out this cycle that's been going on for quite a long time. So there is a finishing up or a finalization of this energy, of this lesson, of this karma, which allows you to really step into new territory, into new ways of entering into and being in relationship to others, especially romantic relationships as it relates to love. So there's new opportunity here to take action, to feel successful, to feel confident through your authentic connection to self, and in turn, being able to connect to others in a really profound way and having that sense of real deep intimacy. So I think this is a beautiful energy for you guys to work with this month. And it can be a bit challenging at times, I'm seeing, because there are those darker aspects, you know, the golem energy, the Lilith energy. Those are very sort of repressed, rejected, abandoned parts of the self that have manifested in sometimes less than savory ways, less than savory behaviors. This is where the anger, the fear, the pushback really comes from. And a lot of the time this can be unconscious. So what you're seeking to do this month is to bring it into the conscious mind from the unconscious and be able to work with that at a more practical level. And being intentional and using affirmations that help to affirm what it is that you're trying to do can be supportive of you this month. Being able to apply something practical or physical to the closing of this cycle and the beginning of the next one can also be really helpful. So maybe making a ritual out of it, or just applying the action in a way that feels more more physical, more energetic. So maybe going and doing something for yourself, or going on a trip that allows you some alone time, or connecting with your loved one in a way that maybe you wouldn't have done before, whether that's physical intimacy or going out into the world together to experience something new. So I do see that this cycle has repeated time and time again. Each time it repeats, though, it is evolving. You are learning, you're growing, you're gaining wisdom, not only of other people, but also of yourself. And so each time around, you get a little bit of a higher perspective. So although there may be some lingering restrictions or feelings of some of that karma still being there, you've actually closed out a major part of it. So you may still keep going through these cycles in different ways, but it's not going to be the same as it was. It's not going to be as unconscious. And in that unconsciousness is where the disempowerment was really showing up for you. So I'm excited to see what this month actually brings for you. Don't forget to watch these readings at the end of the month again to see how it actually unfolded. But before you go, let's take a look at your oracle card for this month. So you have the Wolf card. And Wolf is a beautiful energy that speaks of intuition, learning, and the shadow. So Wolf brings a true sense of faithfulness, inner strength, and intuition. But the Wolf also brings learning as well. Sometimes you need to cross barriers, you need to take risks, and to go beyond the limited compass of what normal behavior feels like or looks like to you in order to learn and grow and evolve. Although crossing these boundaries may seem unattractive, even painful or challenging, you don't need to fear the inner power and strength that you feel when you spend time alone. So come to know your deepest self, and even in the darkest places, you will find courage and spiritual companionship. So that's really what I'm seeing here, is the more that you come into intimacy with your inner self, with those darker, repressed, or abandoned aspects of the self and the desires that are coming up through unconscious behaviors, the more compassion you can have for you, the more confident you will feel, the more empowered you will be. So really having the courage to kind of stop and face what's coming up for you and to look at it very analytically, but at the same time, with that ability to hold space with love, it's going to provide opportunity for you to be able to share that with others, or what feels comfortable to share with others, to create a deeper intimacy there too. As within, so without. So I love that the Wolf is here to support you. I love that you have all of these very definitive types of energies in your reading, and lots of new beginnings coming from these endings. So I love that for you guys, Aries. Let me know how this resonated. Leave a fire emoji in the comments below if it resonated with you, if you enjoyed the reading. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of these readings and other content that I create. Much love to you guys, and we'll see you next month. Bye. All right. Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your November monthly reading. Let's go ahead and jump into the cards. This month is a little different. I'm doing a freestyle spread and using some different decks just for fun. So Taurus, you have the Moon, the Four of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Four of Swords, the Hierophant, Death, and the Nine of Pentacles. So this is looking like a pretty intense month for you, Taurus. There's a lot of deep diving into the self and trying to create stability through a lot of change is what it feels like. I do see that you are entering into something new. You might be celebrating something in a new way, and it could be very mystical and esoteric, which may be something that you don't necessarily incorporate into your life in practical ways, although you are here watching a tarot reading, so I can assume that at least you are aware of the esoteric and the occult and divination and all of that. Whether or not you do it for yourself or incorporate it into your daily life, you're aware of it and you value it because you're here. So I do see that there's some very deep ingrained aspects of the self that are kind of coming up this month for you to address. The Death card is going to help you do that. So it does feel more like a rebirth to me. It's kind of moving into new territory. That Nine of Pentacles also speaks to that as well. So it's got that Frankenstein energy. So being reborn from the dead, taking something that you've learned and applying it in a new way. I also love that you have 2 4s in your reading, the 4 of Cups and the 4 of Swords. And both of these cards are helping you to create more stability, but they're both asking you to kind of take a moment to assess the situation, to either feel into the situation or to think about the situation. So I see both of them kind of requiring you to address the concept of death. So the ghoul is looking at the tombstone and the vampire is an undead individual. So you have these interesting aspects or these dualities as it comes to death, one being completely inanimate and the other still relatively animate. So this voodoo warlock here in the Hierophant energy really speaks to some of that esoteric or mystical knowledge that can help you to revive a part of the self that is needing to have gone through that death process and be reborn into something new, something more abundant as well. So the Page of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles both speak to me of an emotional sort of new territory or new ground, something that will bring a lot of fulfillment. Essentially, you're creating a lot of emotional and physical, even financial security and fulfillment for you to be able to explore and to enjoy. So when I think of satire, like there's satyr. Yeah, there we go. When I think of a satyr, I think of indulgence and frolicking and having joy in the pleasures of life. And that's what the Nine of Pentacles can represent as well. It's stopping and smelling the roses. So this month, I'm feeling a big energy from you to rest. The Moon card is also something that can indicate rest, to provide space for you to go into the subconscious mind. So that's what is being recommended for you this month. So keeping your eyes open while you're resting, being open to what comes up from the subconscious mind. So maybe tracking your dreams, things like that. And then your Oracle card, you have the Owl. So the Owl is about detachment, wisdom, and change. Owl teaches us the wisdom of turning a disadvantage into an advantage. For most birds, the coming of darkness renders it impossible for them to feed, but the owl's exceptional hearing enables it to pick out and swoop on unsuspecting prey during the night. Twilight has been described as owl light, and going for a quiet walk in the woods at this shimmering time of twilight is an excellent way to develop a sensibility to the other world and the inner soul of nature. You may feel drawn to a study of esoteric lore or clairvoyance. Working with the owl as your ally will help you to do this. Yeah, so that's really what I was seeing from the cards. The moon, again, the owl comes out at night. The moon is in the image of the owl card. Really understanding kind of the barrier between life and death. So the veil being thin and you being able to kind of traverse back and forth across that bridge in the astral realm, in the astral body, or through the conscious or unconscious mind. So I really do see you, like I said, tapping into some of these deeper, more esoteric information or lore to get you in contact with your own psychic abilities, your own clairvoyance, your own natural innate spirit and soul self that is longing to be expressed in this physical incarnation as a human in this lifetime. So this is really fascinating stuff. Taurus, let me know how this ends up showing up for you. Watch this reading again at the end of the month so you can see how it unfolded and what this actually entailed for you. But I definitely see you guys really diving deep into what is beyond the conscious, what is beyond the physical, and really exploring beliefs, philosophy, your sense of self, your identity, and how that relates to you pre and post incarnation and current incarnation. So your sense of self might be challenged. Your sense of what is satisfying to you might change as you go through this death and rebirth process within the self. It's not a literal process. It's very metaphorical. It's very non-physical. But I do see you guys really diving deep. So take time this month to meditate, to rest, to sleep, and indulge in that state of rest to allow the subconscious and the spirit self to speak to you in new and exciting ways. So really looking forward to that month for you, Taurus. Let me know how it resonates in the comments below, and or leave a little bull emoji to let me know that you've enjoyed the reading. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you resonated and you'd like to see more. I'm wishing you all of the best for November and beyond. Much love, guys. Bye. All right, hi Gemini, welcome to your November reading. I have the cards here already laid out, and we're doing a little bit of a different type of reading this month. It's going to be more freestyle, so I've just pulled cards from this random deck that I was called to, and we have an oracle card at the end as well. So you have the Nine of Swords, the Page of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the King of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Star, and the Fool in reverse. So Gemini, let's start with the Nine of Swords, the basilisk energy. Feels like in November you're coming out of a time where there has been a lot of stress or worry, especially around how to move forward is what I'm getting here. And the Page of Wands and the Eight of Wands feels like progression to me, especially as it builds into the King of Wands. So the stress may have been around your energy, your motivation, your goals, and how to coordinate yourself, how to guide yourself on that path, or how to motivate yourself to move to a specific goal or outcome, or even just a sense of fulfillment. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is great here because it is showing new growth. I do see that all of the energy that you've invested in a particular direction is moving. Eight of Wands shows movement and fast movement at that as well. And that leading to the Ace of Pentacles, which is that growth. So there is new growth here this month in a really big way. I also see with the Star card, especially since it's the Tooth Fairy archetype, it's kind of like you can rest after a lot of that stress and that, oomph that it took to get you going and to finally start kind of getting the ball rolling. I feel like it took a lot of effort for you to make that initial push, and then the inertia can kind of take it from there. And now you can just rest. Like the seed has been planted, the growth is happening, and the Star card is coming in to kind of bring you a little bit of a respite, give you some time to rest, while at the same time having wealth and abundance and growth happen in your sleep. So this could even have been, or be a new potential source of income. This could be something that you've been looking to create more sort of passive income, or it could be a raise that you've been trying to get, or a promotion. It could be a new project or hobby that you've been looking to monetize, or a new offer. It could be new clients. It could be anything really, but I really see that you've invested a lot of mental energy into this. It took a long time to get the physical energy on board, but you did it. And this month you're really seeing kind of at least some progress there. I don't know if you'll see the whole thing come to its fruition in the month of November, but I do see that you're making headway, you are making progress, and there is growth that is perceivable to you. And there's going to be rewards that come from that. Now, the Fool card in reverse is interesting because it almost to me speaks of a continuation. So it's not necessarily a brand new beginning. You may have been kind of fine-tuning something that already existed. It feels like something that you're doing in a new way, but it's not necessarily completely brand new. I'm also hearing you're no longer playing the fool. So this could be that you've gained wisdom around how to operate or how to do something in a way that's more efficient or that's more beneficial for you. And that Fool energy, which has two sides to it. It can be a little bit naive. It can be a little ignorant even at times. In the highest expression of the Fool, it's innocence and, this zest for life and adventure. What I'm getting here is this wisdom. So it's kind of like the other side of the Fool energy, where you are actually more aware. You still have that innocence, right? Because it's not the Fool, it's not the World card, which is the end of the cycle. It's the Fool card. So it does still indicate that inner innocence and humility, but at the same time, there's wisdom that's backing that up too. So it's a really nice sort of marriage between those two opposites, but they're not really actually opposites. All right, and then for your oracle card, you have the Wren. So let's take a look at what that's talking about here. So the Wren is humility, cunning, and God. Wren allows us to glimpse the beauty of God or goddess in all things. He tells us that small is beautiful and that self-realization lies not in grandiosity or apparent power, but in humility, gentleness, and subtlety. Cunning, if tempered with humor and good intent, is a way of achieving great things with an economy and effort and a rational and honest use of the achievements of others. So that's really interesting as well. I think that really goes hand in hand with the Fool. So there's humility, there's gentleness that comes with that innocence. It does feel subtle, even though the King of Wands is here, which can be less than subtle energy. I do feel like there's power, but at the same time, there's humility. And I think that's the ability to see the God and goddess in everything. So seeing the power in yourself, seeing the power in the small things, seeing the power in the big things, and kind of judging them as equal. And being able to use your wisdom, your knowledge, your skill to be able to drive you forward in a way that feels more economical, requires less effort, and at the same time creates the same result or even a better result. So I do get this feeling from you of work smarter, not harder. And that's going to take some of the stress off, right? So that Nine of Swords energy doesn't need to be there. That stress and that worry and that kind of roller coaster of emotion or racing thoughts, you can actually start to shine the light on it. What they're drawing my attention to is the mirror in his hand. There's a knight behind the wall, and he's shining the light so that he can not be turned to stone by the basilisk, right? We saw that in Harry Potter. So being able to use the reflection to your benefit, being able to use the light, to use the mirror to see around corners and to kind of guide the way rather than having the fear block you off and turn you to stone. All right, so that is your reading, Gemini, for the month of November. I hope that it resonated. Don't forget to watch it again at the end of the month to see how everything played out. Let me know if this resonates with you. Leave a comment below. Leave your Gemini emoji if it did, if you liked the video, if you liked your reading. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next month. Bye, guys. All right, hi, Cancer. Welcome to your November monthly reading. So I'm doing the spread a little different this time, just freestyle and with some new decks. So November, you guys have Justice, the Page of Swords, the Empress, the King of Cups, the Six of Swords, the Hanged Man, and Temperance. So Cancer, I'm really seeing a lot of clarity coming through for you this month. I do see a lot of balance being of utmost importance as well. So the Temperance card and the Justice card are both speaking of balance and equality and equity as well. So making sure that things are equitable. I've just had my attention drawn to the staff in the Valkyrie's hand, and it's reminding me of the staff of, who is it? The Hermes staff, I think, or the one that's related to medicine, or actually that one's got double. So I think this one is actually the single stroke, which is more to do with knowledge. So rather than it being about physical health, it's more philosophical or intellectual knowledge. And that's what's allowing that clarity of mind with the Six of Swords as well. So clarity of mind and balance, patience. There's a real sense of awareness that I'm getting. Page of Swords as well. So again, more swords, more air energy, more mind energy, really bringing to your awareness something. It's interesting because the Headless Horseman is headless. So this can mean kind of losing your head, not thinking clearly. And the Page of Swords can indicate, new realms of thought, or sometimes even being a little bit brash with your words or your thought, not thinking it through. So if that is an issue that arises this month, the remedy or the antidote to that is really being in your mind, being very rational, very logical, looking at things more objectively. That will help to create the balance and the equality that will serve you best this month. I love that you have the Empress as well, represented in this deck by Kali. So this is a really powerful, destructive yet creative energy. I do feel like there's a lot of creation that's happening for you this month, but it might feel like it's not fully manifesting. So you are most certainly creating. This could just be more at a mental and emotional level. So you might not be seeing the physical, outcome of what it is that you are working on right now. The King of Cups is here to help you to create balance between the mind and the emotions. So feelings and how to interpret those rationally, logically, and or helpfully. And then the Hanged Man is, again, it's kind of like there's a little bit of a standstill, but in a good way. There's still creation happening. There's still knowledge that's being acquired. There's still balance that's happening within the self. And I think that the Hanged Man energy is actually part of that. It's necessary. So really kind of putting yourself in a state of temporary suspension to be able to think more clearly. Yeah. So in that state of pause, you're able to find balance in a whole new way instead of rushing forward. So the Hanged Man energy, again, it's part of the antidote to that Page of Swords being a little bit irrational or acting too quickly without thinking. So I love this for you this month. I do see that there's a lot of movement at some point. So at one point in the month, you might feel like things are stuck and not moving, but it's necessary to acquire the patience, the balance, and the rational, logical perspective. But then there's also the clarity that that's bringing immediately starts to move things forward. So your mental realm, there's a lot of changes that are occurring. There's a lot of awareness that's happening, and with awareness comes power, right? Because when we are aware of something, we have the power to change it. We have the power to change directions. We have the power to set intentions and to change our actions as well. So lots of progress happening for you this month, Cancer, but definitely at a more internal level, not necessarily showing up in your physical environment or in your life in a big way, but it is having a big impact, and it will have a big impact down the line. So let's take a look at your oracle card for the month of November. You have the Bear. So Bear is primal power, sovereignty, and intuition married with instinct. Bear connects you with the very deepest of your ancestral roots. Here, at this level, you are in touch with the primal mother, the bear goddess who will defend you fiercely from all danger. You are connected also with the bear god, the mighty warrior Arthur, the guiding pole star of the Great Bear. Your intuition will never fail you if you will listen to it in the still darkness of the night. Working with the bear gives you the opportunity to become a spiritual warrior like Arthur. You can find the way to come into your power by marrying your strength with your intuition. Integrating your primal power with your intuition means uniting your star power with your animal power, and both are symbolized by the bear. I love that. So again, balance, intuition, instinct, mind, body. That's where we feel. The King of Cups is an emotional type of energy, and we feel emotions physically in the body. The body responds. The mind labels the emotion and interprets it. So again, it's this intuition and instinct, logic and feeling. And I love that they've also brought up God and Goddess and that energy of protection. So I do feel that you are very much protected through this process, and you're given the space and the grace to be able to really go within this month and dive deeper, maybe than you have in quite some time, to understand where there's needing to be balance, to understand how you can move forward once what you are seeking is acquired at that knowledge level, and you can apply that in the months to come. So there you have it, Cancer. I really hope that this resonated with you. Don't forget to watch this at the end of the month to see how these energies actually transpired. And if you liked this reading, leave your little crab emoji in the comments below to let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and other spiritual content. Wishing you lots of love for the month of November and beyond. Bye, guys. All right, hi Leo, welcome to your November monthly reading. We're doing the cards a little bit different today. It's more of a freestyle reading and I'm using some different decks. So Leo, in November you guys have the Six of Pentacles, the Tower, the King of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. So the first thing that I notice here is that you have a lot of pentacles in your spread. So this month might be a heavy focus on the material. So this can be your physical health, this can be your monetary dealings, your financial security. This can be what you're trying to manifest as well, or what you're trying to build and create. So the first one you have is the Six of Pentacles, which does indicate a need for balance, a need for harmony in terms of what you're giving out and what you're taking in. So just making sure that you have enough to expend and you also have enough that's coming in so that you can share. The Tower card might indicate that there's some challenges coming up around finances and how you think about them this month, although I do see that there is abundance for you, but there's a lack mentality that's showing up. So we've got the Five of Pentacles here, the Tower card, and then those Swords cards, the King of Swords and the Four of Swords. So this kind of speaks to me that there's going to be a challenge for you in terms of your money mindset, or your mindset around your physical health, or your mindset around your manifestations. So the Tower is a good thing in the sense that it's coming in to challenge the way that you've previously been thinking or doing things. And that King of Swords energy right next to it, again, it's kind of like a stroke of awareness that comes in. So there's a realization, there's an epiphany that may come through rest and relaxation or some kind of meditation or mindfulness. With that Four of Swords energy, can be about really kind of giving yourself a time and a place to sit down and kind of go over why you're thinking this way and what's showing up for you, and being able to put those two together and understand the intricacies of how things are playing out for you. So I do see that you will find light in the darkness. They're drawing my attention to the fire in the Five of Swords and the torch in the the Five of Pentacles and the torch in the Four of Swords. So there's going to be light that's shed into the darkness here so that you can see more clearly where there are areas that are still a little bit out of balance and how to bring balance back to those areas. I see the Four of Pentacles that you are wanting to save. You're wanting to keep what it is that you're creating. You're wanting to have a sense of security. That Five of Pentacles is challenging it because maybe the deeper held subconscious beliefs based partially on experiences, I'm sure, could be overriding some of that, or driving some of that rather into being. So for example, you've experienced lack in the past, you know what that feels like in your body, you know what that feels like in your mind, and it's not pleasant. And so when you do have money coming in, all of a sudden you're trying to hold on to it. Makes sense, right? Of course, you're going to want that security. You're going to want to make sure that you're acquiring and that you are building and creating that security net. They're drawing my attention to the Six of Pentacles where she's got that web, and it's kind of like that security net that you're looking for. But the Queen of Pentacles reminds you that the ability to create abundance in your life, the ability to experience it through you rather than having it come to you. Does that make sense? So instead of focusing so much on the acquisition of the resources or the health or whatever it is that you're desiring to experience. It's more so about actually knowing, not just believing, but knowing that you are the one who creates it. And you can always create more. So you can trust your body to heal. You can trust your body to work with you in a positive way. It's always looking out for your survival and your safety. And you can trust yourself to be able to create new resources continually. And there might be new opportunities in how to do that. You might have a stroke of genius that all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I can be doing this. I can be doing that. And really be able to apply that in a way that creates and manifests more wealth, that creates and manifests more security for yourself. So that tower moment, I don't think is so much of a negative thing where it's tearing away things that you've built for security's purposes. I think that it's more so a realization that the ability to experience the abundance that you're desiring is something that's very innate within you. It's not something that can be taken away. It's not something that can be destroyed. It's something that you just are. So it's very easy to continue to create more, just make more. It's like money doesn't grow on trees, but you are this tree that produces money. So in a way, it does for you. And I know that that's, again, a mindset shift. Because if you've been taught since you were young, you need to work hard for money, you need to save money, you need to be responsible with money. Those are all good advice and continue to hold those beliefs. But it's more so the working hard and the money doesn't grow on trees, right? It's difficult to acquire. Those, I think, are the mindsets that don't serve. And they have their place in reality. You know, they're a stereotype or they're a saying for a reason, because the experience of that is true a lot of the time. But it doesn't have to be. And you have the creative power to be able to make more yourself. And in a way that's very natural, very grounded, very practical, and very joyful for you. It doesn't have to be a slog, you know, it doesn't have to be difficult, challenging, hard, draining. It can be fun. It can be enjoyable. So I see that for you this month. All right, sorry about that, guys. The camera died. So let's take a look at your oracle card for this month, Leo. You guys have the Hawk. So Hawk is an energy of nobility, recollection, and cleansing. Hawk brings the ability to see your life in perspective, to free you of unnecessary baggage, and to connect you to your ancestral roots. See if you can take some time out of your daily routine to survey your life calmly and to see events in context. The Hawk can help you to recollect the missing pieces of the jigsaw you will be trying to assemble, and he will help too to spot the details which are significant. When you have a sense of your roots and of the breadth of your life, you will start to feel pride and a growing sense of nobility and structure. Once you know where you have come from and where you are going, your life will be filled with inspiration and enthusiasm. You will sense a new day dawning, and you will be able to make decisions with confidence. So that energy of confidence coming in here, trusting yourself and that safety net, really knowing that you have the ability to see that bigger picture and to create stability therein. So I do see a lot of clarity coming to you, especially in the realms of thought, as you allow yourself to rest and integrate the awareness of abundance that you have very naturally within you. So that is your reading for the month of November. Leo, thank you so much for joining. Leave a lion emoji in the comments below if you resonated. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you did resonate and you'd like to see more. Much love and many blessings. We'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your November monthly reading. Let's take a look at the cards that you have. I'm doing a freestyle reading with some different decks this time, so a little different than normal. Let's jump into it. You have the Three of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Page of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and the Moon card. So what I see for you guys this month, Virgo, is there's a lot of, it feels, honestly, it feels like there's some stress. happening this month, you might be under some internal subconscious pressure. So even if there's not physical stress showing up around you, it does feel like there's some mental stress that is happening this month. Now, the antidote to that, or the resolution of that, can come through physical expression of that energy. So getting active is what I'm seeing for you, to be able to work through some of that subconscious material that needs to be expressed. You don't necessarily have to sit down and meditate on it and go through the mental process of unpacking it. What I'm seeing for you is actually getting more into the physical. And you are an earth sign, so this makes sense, right? Being able to express yourself at a physical level, putting that mental energy into something practical, can be really aligned and helpful for you. Now, I do also see some kind of ritual. This could incorporate ritual as well. So you could be doing some kind of a cleansing ritual, a clearing ritual. It could be even just a little ritual like going out for a walk or connecting with nature. It can be anything that feels aligned with you, anything that feels inspiring, empowering, and helps to release some of that mental energy and get you grounded again. So whatever you need to do, if it's punch a punching bag, if it's going for a walk, if it's, doing a release ritual or ceremony, then go for it. That's really going to help to get some of this pent up mental and subconscious energy out of the system, expressing it out through the body and releasing, clearing, grounding it. From there, I see you guys really kind of stepping into a revitalization or reviving yourselves in some way. So as you're clearing out a lot of that mental and energetic dross, you are able to then reinvigorate yourself. You're able to receive new inspiration, new insight, potentially through the subconscious mind as well. So perhaps going for a run and expending some of that built up energy will give you the epiphany of what you're needing to do to resolve something at the physical level that has been causing that subconscious stress. So you might have these kinds of breakthroughs where all of a sudden everything just clicks into place, you understand it better, and you're able to get off of that cycle where you've been kind of going around in circles with this. So there does feel like there's some resolution happening for you in the month of November. That's that Wheel of Fortune energy, as well as the 10 of Swords. Both of those things indicate the ending of a cycle. So you guys are going full circle, understanding it better, knowing how to kind of treat the issue as it arises, and then getting even more insight and snowballing upwards from there. So that's fantastic. Now, you also have the Sow card in reverse. So the Sow card represents generosity, nourishment, and discovery. In the reversed position, you may need to revise your image of yourself. There is an old Gaelic saying, when you thought you were on the sow's back, you were beside her in the puddle. Although the sow symbolizes nourishment, fertility, and giving, she can also represent greed and pig ignorance. Perhaps you need to work towards a greater understanding of the subtleties of life rather than relying simply on your looks or physique. Without wisdom, even beauty can be unattractive. Appearances can be deceptive, so judge people or propositions on their true merits and intrinsic worth rather than their outward appearance. So that is from the Druid Animal Oracle deck by Philip and Stephanie Carr-Gomm. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is not relying so much on some of the outside fulfillment through physical things. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, essentially what the rest of the reading is talking about is really getting mental subconscious energy that's built up out through physical expression. However, if you're focusing too much on the result of the physical expression alone, so for example, going for a run for the purpose of having a fit body, rather than going for a run with the intention of clearing out some of that subconscious energy that's been frazzling around in there all this time, it's two different intentions and two different outcomes from the same action. So it's really about taking the focus off of the physical result and putting it more squarely onto what the internal result is, the internal fulfillment, the internal process. Because even though you're doing something in the external, in the physical, in the action-oriented realm, you are still doing it with the purpose, ideally, of creating balance within the internal space. So that's what I'm seeing there from the Sow card in conjunction with the cards that you have. So for the month of November, revitalize yourself, get off that wheel of karma, and break free from the restrictions that you've created for yourself in your mind by diving a little deeper into the physical expression of that energy and focusing more on the emotional result of that or the mental result of that rather than the physical kind of outcomes. All right, so thank you so much for watching, Virgo. Leave your emoji sign in the comments below if you resonated. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and we will see you next month. Bye, guys. All right, hi Libra, welcome to your November monthly reading. We're doing a little bit of a different style reading today, more freestyle and with different decks. So let's jump into it. You have the Empress card, the Two of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, King of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Seven of Cups. So Libra, in the month of November, I'm seeing that there's an energy of manifestation here for you that's really available in a very physical and tangible way. So part of this, though, is about you taking action towards something that you may be confused about. So there's kind of like a weighing of options that I'm seeing here. You might have two different potential directions that you could go. One of them could be like the high road, one of them could be the low road, one of them could be a bright path, one of them could be a little bit more obscured. So there's definitely some options here that you're needing to kind of look at. Part of that confusion around what is there or what is available to you can be resolved through your intuition. So trusting that little inner guidance system, it's like an internal built-in GPS within you. Being able to tune into that is really important this month. So getting grounded and connecting to your inner guide is going to help to give you direction. Maybe even some divination would help. So if you're looking for confirmation of what your intuition is telling you, go to the cards, right? I mean, that's why you're here. You're at a tarot card reading, and the High Priestess card is the fortune teller in this deck. So this is really connecting to some kind of divination technique to help you to discern which direction is best suited for you, but only insofar as it confirms what you're already feeling within yourself. So you're not looking for outside direction, rather you're just looking for outside confirmation of what your intuition or your GPS is already telling you. I do see that there's going to be some dedication this month required of you to build something, especially financially. Don't rely on luck. That's what I'm getting. Don't rely on luck to manifest what it is that you desire. You do have this wonderful creative capacity this month to create really nice physical rewards for yourself. However, it does require that you do an investment of energy, that you take action, that you step up and do something that would provide that, right? So it's like what you get, what you put in is what you get out. So sitting around and hoping for it or thinking about it are not going to get you the same level of results as actually getting up and doing the work or taking action towards something. So again, that's where having the clarity of thought around which direction to move is really important, because you don't want to just kind of fly into things willy-nilly and hope for the best. This is not that month for you. Really having a clear plan of action can be more useful, more beneficial. And that's where, again, connecting to that inner divination, that inner GPS system within you through your intuition, through your internal connection to source, through your guides, through your higher self, whoever you feel comfortable connecting with, or maybe even just listening to your body. Sometimes that can be really helpful as well. When you're in a grounded, clear, and open state and you ask a question, listen to how your body responds through the feeling of what is happening when you're asking that question. So pay attention to the sensations, pay attention to the internal nudges that are coming up at that time. That can help you to kind of bring what was under the surface and murky and unclear up to the surface and into your full awareness. I do see that there is a potential for striking gold almost. So that King of Pentacles with the leprechaun energy, when you actually work towards something, there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I'm also seeing the bird in the cage in the High Priestess, and it's reminding me of, you know, the canaries that they had in the cages in the gold mines. So this, again, it relates to if you're willing to dig deep and do the work, if you're willing to invest the time and the effort, you will have an opportunity to see the reward from that, to see the outcome, to match the energy that you're putting into it. I don't know necessarily that you'll see that outcome in November, but there's a potential for that, right? You have the King of Pentacles here, the Two of Wands, you know, all of these aspects that help to propel you forward into that. The Empress is that manifestation energy in a really, really big way as well. So there is potential to see some of the outcome of this energy in this month, so long as you are following that inner guidance system. Now, the card that you had as your oracle is the Salmon card. The salmon is about wisdom, inspiration, and rejuvenation. Salmon is revered as extremely sacred in the Druid tradition. It is the oldest animal and it offers us wisdom and inspiration. Often with great difficulty, the salmon will return to the place of its birth to mate. To find wisdom, we too need to recapitulate our lives, to journey in consciousness back to our beginnings, to our childhood, and perhaps beyond, to our very origins in God or Goddess. Salmon brings not only the wisdom, but youthfulness and inspiration, as well as the remembrance of finding these things. You must maintain an attitude of openness and innocence rather than strong-headed determination. Okay, so what I take from this, first of all, it's not even mentioned in the book, but I do associate salmon with rewards as well. And in the image of the salmon, you can see he's jumping out of the stream and he's kind of going for this bulb or this plant that's up above him. So he's making the effort. He's launching himself out of his comfort zone, out of his element to reach for something that seems unattainable, but really when he puts in that effort, he can get it. That's another thing that's correlated to the salmon swimming upstream. So you do have to put in effort to get the reward. It could feel like a bit of a challenge, or there may be a little bit of resistance, but in the long run, it's going to be worth it because you'll have that great sense of fulfillment and satisfaction from getting to where you've been trying to go. I also see the salmon as abundance because in traditions, salmon has been a source of sustenance and nourishment, and it's very, very abundant, especially at certain times of year. I know if you live in a location where you see the salmon run, it's quite a sight. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and so I have seen the salmon run and swimming upstream and jumping, and they're quite majestic. They're very large, and they're so abundant. There's so many of them. And the tradition was, you know, you'd go and you'd catch the salmon, or you'd wait for them to kind of, because they mate and then they start to die off, and you can get them when they're weak, when at their end of their life, and you've got all of this nourishment that you can have for the winter to come. So I really see this as abundance as well, connected and correlated to that King of Pentacles energy and to the Empress energy. So the other aspect here that was mentioned is going back to your origins in God or Goddess. That's the Empress card right there. She is that God or Goddess energy, well, in this case, Goddess. And being able to kind of dive deeper into your own personal power, back to your beginnings, really mustering up that strength and that energy and that motivation to dive a little deeper, to go a little harder, to really create what it is that you're looking for. Now, they do mention in the book that rather than using strong-headed determination, but that's actually not what I'm getting here. I see that that determination will actually serve you in this month. However, you do want to temper that with inner guidance, right? Listening to your inner intuition, what's going on in there, that will help to guide you in a more balanced manner. All right, so that is your reading for the month of November, Libra. I hope that you resonated. If you did and you appreciated the reading, leave a little Libra emoji in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more. And I look forward to doing your reading for next month. Many blessings. Bye. All right, hi Scorpio, welcome to your November monthly reading, and happy birthday to those of you who are born this month. We're doing a little bit of a different spread today, using a more freestyle layout and a couple of decks of cards that I haven't used in a while. So let's jump into it. Scorpio, you have the Six of Wands, the Hermit card, the Ace of Cups, the Emperor, the Death card, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Moon. So I do see a lot of deep diving into the subconscious realm this month for you, Scorpio, and I do know that that's part of who you are, at least if you know that's your sun sign, moon sign, or rising sign, whatever area of the chart you have your Scorpio placement. It's going to detail how you deep dive, how you go into the darkness, how you transform, and where there's oftentimes shedding or purging or introspection that needs to happen. So the Hermit card is there to guide you through that process of isolation or introspection that is necessary to get you deeper connected with yourself, with your personal power, with your sense of purpose, and how you feel fulfillment and success. I think that this month is going to be a lot of introspection around those themes. So personal power, emotional fulfillment, sense of purpose, and how you can feel victorious or successful in your life in some way. So that death process that's happening and the subconscious fears around endings of cycles are actually going to help you to level up and step into more of your internal wisdom. So through that wisdom, I do see that there's going to be an opportunity for connection. And I think that this connection is really coming in the heart. So connection with yourself in a big way. I do see that there's an opportunity for travel for some of you this month as well. And this could be, again, this could be at an internal level. Maybe you're traveling back in time and reviewing things that happened in your past, or perhaps you're physically traveling to a particular location. Some of you may be stargazing this month as well. I'm not sure why that's very specific, but I'm seeing that at least one of you or some of you who are here for this reading are going to be looking up at the stars this month. And whether you're doing astronomy or astrology or you're just stargazing, I do see something of that nature taking place in the month of November. I also feel as though you are diving into maybe these deeper, more wise aspects of the self through some kind of esoteric knowledge. So if you're interested in the occult or divination or anything like that, perhaps it is astrology that you're interested in or that you are practicing, that can be a beneficial tool for you this month as well. And if you don't know how to do that for yourself, you can always go and seek out an astrologer whom you resonate with, and perhaps that will bring you additional resources or additional information as to your purpose, where to apply your action, your energy, your effort, and how best to feel that sense of fulfillment after going through that more introspective rebirth, let's call it, phase. So the card that you have from the Oracle deck is the Hawk. And the Hawk is about nobility, recollection, and cleansing. Hawk brings the ability to see your life in perspective, to free you of unnecessary baggage, and to connect you to your ancestral roots. See if you can take some time out of your daily routine to survey your life calmly and to see events in context. The Hawk can help you to recollect the missing pieces of the jigsaw you will be trying to assemble, and he will help too to spot the details which are significant. When you have a sense of your roots and of the breadth of your life, you will start to feel pride and a growing sense of nobility and stature. Once you know where you have come from and where you are going, your life will be filled with inspiration and enthusiasm. You will sense a new day dawning, and you will be able to make decisions with confidence. So I really like that the Hawk symbolism with this Oracle card is speaking of a lot of the things that are coming up in the reading. So really having confidence and that sense of nobility, this feeling of connection as well. So again, diving into the past with those ancestral roots, traveling back in time, perceiving something in a bigger way. So again, I think that's where the astrology context comes in, because you're looking at the language of the stars, definitely from a higher perspective, looking at your life that way. And having that higher perspective can give you context to understand what does feel fulfilling to you, what brings confidence through in the form of success. So that's with that Six of Wands energy, the Emperor, all of those aspects of you that are striving for victory, for success, for your personal power. So I love that for you this month, Scorpio. Let me know if this resonated for you in the comments. Don't forget to watch it again at the end of the month to see how these energies actually unfolded. And you can look at it from that hindsight and understand how things applied. And leave a scorpion emoji in the comments if you resonated, if you liked the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more. And I will see you next month. Bye, guys. All right. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your November monthly reading. To those of you who were born in November, happy birthday. Today we're doing a little bit of a different style of reading, more freestyle, free-flowing, and I'm using some new decks. Well, technically they're old decks, but they're new to you guys. So the decks, or rather the cards that you guys have this month are the Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the Chariot, Judgment, the Three of Wands, and the Four of Cups. So Sagittarius, it's looking to me as though there's going to be a lot of really strong movement forward this month. So I do see that you're coming out of a cycle of kind of doubting whether you've been going in the right direction or feeling a little bit dissatisfied with where you were at, maybe even resentful that something had not been progressing in the way that you were hoping it to. And this month is giving you a fresh start. So I see lots more independence. I see you kind of coming out of an old cycle into that new cycle and feeling revived, feeling rejuvenated, feeling reborn even. So I do see there's this new vigor for life. I feel like you are re-inspired and passionate once again, ready to move forward and take action in a really powerful way. I do see that there may be some, I don't like the word aggressive, but it's like an aggressive type of energy that you might be feeling this month. And I don't think that it's aggression towards anything in particular. It feels to me almost like just this dominating type of energy, like you're ready to move forward and you're going to do whatever it takes. Now, that might mean that people need to get out of the way. And that's what I mean by aggressive. It's like you're not going to slow down to stay behind other people, or you're not going to go out of your way to go around people. It's like people need to move out of the way because here you come. I mean, that's not always a bad thing, right? It just shows how fired up you are, how passionate you are, and how ready you are to move forward. And I get this feeling of like the arrow is being loosed. All this pent-up energy has been building for quite some time, and now the cycle has changed, the karma is shifting, and all of a sudden it's like the arrow is free flying now, and there's no stopping it. So I think that's really great for you guys this month. Interesting that the Three of Wands is here. You might also be really focusing a lot on what you need to get done. So this could really just manifest in a very sort of mundane, day-to-day type of way, as you really having all of this extra energy that you put towards your daily tasks, like all this energy racing around, cleaning the house, that kind of thing. And if anybody comes in and leaves a cup on the counter, you're like not having it. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it feels like. And this could show up in bigger ways too, but that's just one sort of more day-to-day example. I feel like there's going to be passion this month as well, not just passion for the energy, like an example, that we just had, like energy can be kind of sometimes construed as passion, but I feel like there's actually more of this fiery passion. It's like somebody's lit a fire under you, and all of a sudden it's like you're jumping up and you're doing things and you're doing them quickly. I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I said, I think that that's going to really drive, you to some form of success. I feel like it's moving you forward in a really big way. I would just caution that you make sure that you're going in the right direction. You do want to make sure that you are, that you are allowing yourself a little bit of temperament. Does that make sense? A little bit of like temperance for yourself, to not go completely overboard and get too heated in the pursuit of what it is that you're passionate about or what it is that you're excited about. But I don't want to quell that passion or that excitement, because I do really see this working out well for you in the long run. Next, you have the water dragon, and the water dragon refers to passion, depth, and connection. So water dragon brings that which is hidden into the light of day. Memories and wishes, which may have long lain forgotten or repressed in the unconscious, may emerge to frighten or overwhelm you with their apparent negativity or destructiveness. Facing these experiences with compassion and courage will, in the end, bring you to an experience of a greater depth of soul and a greater sense of connectedness to all life. Although you may at times feel overwhelmed with emotion, with time you'll be able to achieve a sense of balance and stability as these strong feelings are integrated into your consciousness. Okay, that's really interesting because we don't have too many of these like deep dive depth types of cards, but that passion is definitely there. And that was the first key word for the water dragon, is passion. The next thing that sticks out to me is the apparent destructiveness. So again, that was kind of what I was picking up on, specifically from the Judgment card and the Chariot. Those two together can, in their sort of, overexpressed energy, can sometimes be a little bit destructive if not tempered. And again, I like that they've also mentioned here balance and stability, which is what temperance is. Yeah, so I love that confirmation for you guys. So lots of integration happening this month, and that's where I feel like the rebirth is really launching you, and you're able to take action on what you're passionate about, which creates more connection in your life. It allows you to really reach a new level of self, is what that feels like. So that is your reading for the month of November, Sagittarius. I hope that it resonated. If it did, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to watch this again at the end of the month to see how this energy actually unfolded in real time. And leave a Sagittarius emoji in the comments below. If it resonated, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more. We'll see you next month, guys. Bye. Hi Capricorn, welcome to your November monthly reading. Today we're doing things a little bit different. We've got some different decks and a more freestyle type of reading flow. So let's jump into the cards. You have Justice, the World, Six of Cups, the Two of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Four of Cups. So the first thing I want to mention is that the Three of Wands and the Four of Cups are in the exact same positions as the Sagittarius reading. So if you have Sagittarius in your chart, or you're dealing with a Sagittarius in your life, go ahead and check out that reading as well. So the first card you have is Justice, and I feel as though there's a big I feel like there's completion. So that tells me that there could be something that's being finalized right now. The World card sitting right next to it, again, it does feel very much like there's something that is coming to an end. I mean, we're in eclipse season, October and November, so it does bring about these big, profound endings and new beginnings. There could be something legal as well. This is not going to apply to everyone, but that just came through. So there could be like a contract that you're wrapping up, or a legal proceeding that is coming to an end, and there's a verdict or there's an outcome. So that could go in your favor. Some of the other cards that are here are positive. It does feel as though you've been a little bit uneasy about how things would go. And even if they don't go completely in your favor, I do feel as though there will be positive outcomes that can come from this. So don't lose hope if that's the case. For everyone else, it feels as though there's an ending of a major cycle, there's new beginnings starting to happen, there's a sense of completion, especially as it relates to past experiences and things that you've been through, memories that you have that maybe have been kind of sitting on the back burner. It feels like there's an awareness coming from these experiences, from these, challenges is what it feels like. Challenges from the past that you're finally gaining perspective on. And from those challenges, it's almost like the challenges were the fertilizer in the soil, quite literally. It's like the shit that you had to go through, but it's fertilizing the soil, and it's producing the nutrients that this new seed of life or this new seed of consciousness is thriving with. And so it's promoting growth for you with that Ace of Pentacles. This could even be a small payout of some kind. It could be a new opportunity coming in. So there is some kind of growth. There is some kind of new offer on the table, literally. So be open to new opportunities coming in. Be mindful of not pushing those away. I mean, always use your discernment, right? I think that's why the Two of Swords is there as well. It's not just ghosts from your past, which was how I was seeing it in relation to the Six of Cups. But I do also see this in relation to the Four of Cups as being about more so like not scaring away opportunities or not like running and hiding when opportunities come and seek you out. So be open to it. Be open to being seen, because I do see that there's a lot of energy here that's kind of like preferring to be hidden in the background. It's like you're more focused on just what you can control and you're not really wanting to put yourself out there. But I do feel like there's an opportunity that's going to be provided for you this month, even if it's just a small one. And it will be worth it to explore, you know, if it feels in alignment. So like break free from that fear, you know, break free from the limitation of feeling like you have to kind of fly under the radar or not be out in the open to be so visible. You know, let yourself come out into the light of day is kind of what I'm seeing there. Now, you also had the Stag card come out. So the Stag energy is all about pride, independence, and purification. Stag brings grace, majesty, and integrity. And if you ever feel vulnerable or under scrutiny, attuning to the Stag and asking for the protection of his spirit will bring you calmness, strength, and dignity. He will also help you to gain and maintain independence. In the Druid language of the sacred trees, the Stag is related to Beith, the birch tree, and the number 1, which is linked to the blessing of beginnings. It is auspicious to draw this card when considering new projects. The Stag's connection with fertility and sexuality signifies that you will bring dignity, grace, power, and integrity to your sexual life. So that's really interesting because it was talking about if you're feeling vulnerable or under scrutiny, attuning to the Stag energy for protection, calmness, strength, and dignity. So again, that's kind of what I was picking up on from some of these other cards as well. It's kind of like hiding in the shadows, the ghoul, the brownie, the ghost. They don't really want to be seen. They prefer to lurk in the shadows or work at night. And so it's kind of like if you're feeling vulnerable about being seen or being under scrutiny, especially if there's something legal going on and you're being, you know, really sort of investigated or you kind of have to lay it all out, it can be challenging. And so I would say that the Stag is here to help you to feel more courageous, more grounded in your own energy and protected as well. I also love that it's linked to new beginnings. So really, really clear that you have these new beginnings happening. The world is a major ending that provides a new beginning, and the Ace of Pentacles is a brand new beginning. So love that for you guys. Let me know how this resonates. Don't forget to watch it again at the end of the month to see how it all played out. Leave a, is there a deer emoji? Leave a Stag emoji in the comments below or a Capricorn emoji if this resonated with you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and stick around for new monthly readings coming out each month. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye. All right, hi Aquarius, welcome to your November monthly reading. Let's jump into the cards. You have the Page of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Two of Wands. So Aquarius, this month it is feeling a lot like there is a whole bunch of stuff going on for you and it's requiring some balance, right? It's kind of needing to juggle. You have to juggle things this month. And once the wheels are moving, once things are working, it should be okay. It just quite feels like there's some challenges that are kind of being placed on your plate. Not necessarily really big ones. It's more so just needing to find that harmony, needing to find that balance, and figuring out how to do that. I do see a lot of different aspects of the self, again, needing balance. So your emotions kind of all over the place, your money, again, factoring that in, your thoughts and how you communicate. So it does feel, again, like it's there's so many balls in your court, basically, if I can just summarize it like that. So the Page of Cups with Saturn is great because it is more of a gentle energy, a playful energy. So this can give you a perspective that is helpful to deal with some of all of the other stuff that's going on. So take some time to yourself, indulge a little bit, because yeah, there is a lot on your plate. So yeah, enjoy the finer things of life if you can. Make some time for yourself, really, is the key there. The Six of Pentacles, again, this speaks of balance, more so of harmony than balance, but the harmony comes from balance. So finding a way to kind of coordinate things so that everybody gets their fair share. You feel like your needs are met. You feel like you are providing, the output that is required or that's necessary from you. Making sure that you're not getting overwhelmed. The Five of Cups with the mermaid energy, it can feel like you're in stormy seas a little bit this month. You might be getting tossed around a little bit, and that could be because there's so many balls in your court. And again, there's that need for balance and harmonization. So if you're feeling tossed around, if you're feeling as though you're kind of getting whiplash from all of these different things that need your attention and your focus, again, go back to the Saturn energy where you're feeling more calm, peaceful, connected. Listen to some calming music, have a glass of wine or two, but not too much, right? Because this month is all about balance, but allowing yourself to relax, allowing yourself some me time, basically, is really going to help to counteract some of this other more chaotic energy. The Seven of Pentacles here with gremlin energy it can be a little bit of a chaotic energy, a little bit of a trickster energy. I'll tell you a personal story about gremlins. I was not aware that there's these stories from, I think it was World War II, could have been World War I, where the pilots were attributing problems to enemy aircrafts or to their own aircrafts as being done by gremlins, basically. Like anytime that there was a machinery failure or that something went wrong, it was blamed on gremlins. And it was so funny because last month during Mercury retrograde, I had 4 things go wrong in my car. And I took my car to a mechanic. I had to go buy a new battery. I had to get an audio reboot for my audio system because the fuse was blown. I had to get a replacement for my radiator and all of these different things. But when I took it to one of the places, the guy was like, and I was telling him all of these things that had happened in such a short period of time. And he was like, "Oh yeah, it sounds like you've got gremlins." And I was like, "What?" And so I went home and I researched like the history of gremlins and mechanics. And yeah, sure enough, that's what it was related to. And it's so funny that the gremlins are here. So if you are experiencing any technical failures or mechanical issues, blame it on the gremlins. Try to give them an offering or something like that. Like leave them out a little bowl of milk or some honey or something, and maybe they'll leave you alone. So that being said, I do feel like the cogs are moving. Things will move along. It does feel like they're a little bit jolting, like you're trying to shift gears between all of these different things that are on your plate this month, and it can be a little bit clunky. But I think that you're going to figure it out just fine because the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Wands are both here to provide balance for you. So you can tap into the energy of balance through the energy of two. This could also be about cooperation with other people. So if you are needing an extra hand, delegate. Ask for help, communicate your needs. That's really important as well. You don't have to do everything alone. It's really important that you reach out for any kind of support that you need. And as this relates to the gremlins, right? tell them to stop, ask them to stop, try to give them a bribe, right? So working with other people, other beings to help you to have a more harmonious month. I know it sounds silly, but sometimes it works, whatever works, right? The Knight of Swords here with the Barbarian energy. It's like part of you is just going to want to dive in and like cut through all the crap and really get to the core of what's needing to happen this month. And that's all well and good. Just make sure that you're not kind of acting too rashly. Make sure that you're having, you know, your wits about you as you seek to handle all of these different things. But if you have a burst of energy, you know, use it. You know, what do they say? Make hay while the sun is out, something like that. Basically, just do what you can when you can. Yeah. And then lastly, you have the Frog card in reverse. And the frog is the energy of sensitivity, medicine, and hidden beauty and power. And in reverse, this suggests that you are learning how to embrace difficult circumstances. I mean, is that not exactly what we were just talking about? The frog that you must marry may well turn out to be a prince. The circumstances you have chosen to accept, while apparently unappealing or difficult, may well bring you rich rewards in the end. Remember that the frog brings medicine and medicine brings healing. I love that. So this month, it's like swallow the frog. That's a saying too, isn't it? It's like swallow the frog, eat the frog, do the hardest thing first is what that relates to. Just get the hard stuff out of the way when you have the energy to do it. And then when you're feeling overwhelmed and there's just too much going on, delegate and rest. You know, that's what I'm seeing for you guys this month, Aquarius. So I hope that this helped. I hope that it resonated. If it did, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to watch this again at the end of the month to see how this energy actually played out in hindsight. And leave an Aquarius emoji in the comments if you liked this reading. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more readings and more. Much love, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye. Hi Pisces, welcome to your November monthly reading. Let's go ahead and jump into the cards and see what you guys are working with this month. So you have the World card, the Knight of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Ace of Swords, the Justice card, the Ten of Cups, and the Five of Swords. So Pisces, I'm feeling like, as many other signs have gotten, there's some major endings happening. There's closing out of old cycles. There's major sort of up levels and revelations that are taking place. So many signs this month have gotten the World card. That Ouroboros energy has been coming out like all over all of these horoscope readings. So I really do feel like this is related to the eclipse cycle that we're in right now, or that we've had in the month of November. So October and November are eclipse season. And I do feel like there's this major sort of renewal that's happening. There's major culminations that are occurring. And especially with that Ten of Cups, I feel like for you, this is actually a really good thing. You're coming into a real sense of peace. Now, despite the fact that the Leviathan energy is represented on this card, I feel like it's more so because in the traditional Ten of Cups, it's like a family and they're outside and holding hands and they're dancing in the sun and there's a happy rainbow. And this Leviathan is like aggressive and powerful and he's like fierce. And so what I'm feeling for you this month is that you're connecting. First of all, I'm seeing all of these different dragons. Quetzalcoatl, Leviathan, and Ouroboros are all this sort of dragon type of energy. So you may be connecting with the dragon realm, like 9, 11, 12D dragons, really cool stuff. So look that up if you're interested in it and what dragons represent spiritually. But the Leviathan specifically speaks of power. It feels like you're coming into your emotional power, or you're facing an emotional beast within you and conquering it. So there's power in that. There's a closing of that old karmic cycle through the healing of that emotional pain, that wound finally kind of coming into your view and you actually wrestling with it and coming out victorious. Because I do see this very powerful energy, this warrior energy with the Knight of Wands and the Justice card, the Valkyrie and Hanuman. I feel like there's a real sense of, You know, you're going to fight back. You're not going to take it anymore. You're not going to lie down and let yourself feel victimized and powerless. You are standing up and fighting for what you believe to be right, for your power. You are fighting for your power, and you are going to succeed. You are going to win. Where you have felt as though you have been hung up, strung up, left out to dry, you're actually going to be stepping off of that cycle, stepping out of that pattern, and finally being able to be free. I feel a real sense of freedom, and it's almost making me emotional. Like I can feel it in my heart. There's this feeling of freedom and joy and expression and the power that comes from that. I do also see that you're being blessed. So the light of the angels is shining on you this month. The dragons are there to support you. I feel like you have so much support in the other realms. So you've got a lot of backup. That can also be where a lot of this power is coming through you, because you are being supported left, right, and center from all of these powerful energies, because they know what you're up against. They know that you've been battling the most challenging, painful monsters within yourself. And, you know, that can be trauma, wounds, people who have hurt you, times where you've been disempowered or victimized in the past. And all of that energy has kind of stuck around. And you're finally saying, no more, no more. I can do this. I can face this. I can clear this once and for all. And you've got the backup to do it. You've also got the personal power to do it. It's beautiful. It's really, really powerful, Pisces. I'm blown away by what's coming through in your reading. So know that no matter what happens, you will come out victorious. You will fly free. And also, you have the oracle card of the Sow in the upright position, and Sow represents generosity, nourishment, and discovery. So Sow with her large litters symbolizes abundance and fertility. Drawn upright, this card may mean that you are called upon to be generous. Feeling connected to the love of the goddess for all her creatures, you are able to give freely, knowing that you in return are nourished and sustained by her. Choosing this card, you can open yourself to the abundance that exists through nature, knowing that life perpetually renews itself and that you need not worry about ever being disconnected from it. Allow yourself to feast on life, to enjoy its beauty and its sensual delights. The goddess is generous, giving to all and renewing all. Wow. So I also see this real powerful sense of renewal. Again, that Ouroboros, the world card, it's like this cycle, this infinite cycle of renewal, this infinite abundance that is available to you. All you have to do is open yourself up to it. All you have to do is stand in that energy and express that power, perhaps through generosity, or by accepting generosity from others. In this case, the angels, you know, the warrior guardians, the protectors, you know, all of these amazing energies that are here to support you. They want to be generous to you, and they're wanting you to accept that. They're wanting you to receive that gift and to use it wisely by really conquering your demons, by really fighting back against that disempowerment and being free, again, free to really enjoy life, to feel held by life, to feel nurtured by life. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So there you have it, Pisces. That is your reading for the month of November. Let me know if it resonated in the comments below. Don't forget to watch it again at the end of the month to see how things played out in hindsight. And leave a fish emoji in the comments if you liked the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more readings and other content. I love you guys, and we'll see you next month. Bye.